I'm stuck inside a zipper, but I won't give up looking for my way out. I hope I get out by Halloween. I love Halloween campfire stories. Last year, my coworker Gonzo told us the story that sent shivers down my spine, at least until Christmas.
One day in October, Jack walked into Walmart seeking a part-time job. With Halloween approaching, he was eager to earn some extra cash. To his surprise, he was immediately interviewed by a strikingly tall blonde dressed in red, who turned out to be the store manager. Jack couldn't help but admire her, feeling an instant attraction. During his probationary period, he encountered Blake in the break room, and the two quickly became friends. Blake shared with Jack how he was thriving in his role, hopeful for a promotion once his probation ended. They both discussed their admiration for Elektra's beauty, wondering why someone as stunning as her chose to work at Walmart. In their eyes, she could have easily been a model. While on the job, Jack often found himself inadvertently glancing in Elektra's direction, especially admiring her grace as she stocked the shelves. Another day, in the break room, the two men overheard female coworkers discussing how few men seemed to pass the probation period at this store, noting that there were seldom more than 2 men on the team. The female workers giggled, speculating that perhaps men lacked the necessary organizational skills and discipline for the job. Neither one of men paid attention to what was said. One evening, as Jack was exiting the store, he noticed Elektra beckoning Blake towards an employees-only room. What could be the reason, he wondered. A pang of jealousy hit him, thinking perhaps Elektra favored Blake and might be considering a date with him. The following morning, after completing the initial hours of his shift, Jack stepped into the lunchroom but found no sign of Blake. He inquired about Blake's whereabouts and was informed by a female coworker that Blake had been let go the previous night. Men, it seemed, often struggled to make it past probation here. Jack was puzzled, recalling Blake's confidence about excelling at his tasks. As he mulled over Blake's sudden departure, he struck up a conversation with Aldo, a recent hire, in the lunchroom. Both men shared same passion, basketball, and found a lot in common. One day, Aldo also confided that he was constantly captivated by Elektra's beauty. A few days later, on the night of October 31st, Jack donned his chosen Halloween costume, Dracula, before leaving the store. As he stepped out, he caught the amused whispers and giggles of some female coworkers, clearly entertained by his attire. Glancing back one last time, he observed Elektra and Aldo heading towards the employees-only room. A tinge of envy crossed his mind. Why did Elektra seem to favor everyone else but him? He pivoted and approached the door cautiously. Ensuring he couldn't hear Elektra and Aldo's voices nearby, he ventured in. At the end of the corridor, he spotted them opening a door marked "Management Only." Just as it was about to close, Jack dashed forward, wedging it open with his foot. Breathing a sigh of relief, he noticed stairs descending. He discreetly trailed behind Elektra and Aldo, maintaining a safe distance. At the staircase's end, he peeked around a corner, observing them in front of another door. Elektra knocked 3 times quickly, followed by one deliberate knock, and uttered, "Bloody Mary." The door swung open, revealing a room bathed in red lights with dance music echoing. Jack approached and mimicked Elektra's knock. From behind the door, a voice inquired, "Password?" Recalling Elektra's words, Jack responded with, "Bloody Mary." The door swung open to reveal a burly guard who ushered him inside. Upon entering, Jack quickly realized he was in an underground club, a space more impressive than anything he'd ever encountered. Astonishingly, everyone was adorned in what appeared to be vampire-themed costumes. Jack mused, a vampire-themed Halloween party? I couldn't fit in better dressed as Dracula. An epiphany struck him, an underground club right beneath Walmart. It suddenly made sense why Elektra always dressed so captivatingly. Given the direct access from Walmart to this club, she must frequent this place often. But how did such a connection between Walmart and this club come to be? Jack surmised that Elektra might have brought Blake to this place on a different night. Perhaps Blake had overstepped with his flirtations, prompting Elektra to dismiss him. Now, it seemed Aldo was in a similar predicament. Glancing around, Jack realized he had lost sight of both Elektra and Aldo. Approaching the bar, he inquired about a woman in a red dress accompanied by a man. The female bartender, feigning ignorance, asked Jack if he had just arrived. "Yes," Jack replied. The bartender then offered him a complimentary drink with his entrance, handing him a glass and saying, "Here's your Bloody Mary." Suddenly, an announcement echoed, "Bloody Mary," and a spotlight illuminated the center of the stage at the back of the room. Jack spun around to see Elektra emerging onto the stage. As she dramatically announced, "Today's Bloody Mary," two muscular guards escorted a shackled Aldo onto the stage. His desperate pleas of, "No. Let me go. I won't tell anyone," filled the air. Approaching him, Elektra leaned in and sank her teeth into Aldo's neck, drawing rivulets of blood. Jack momentarily believed it was all part of a performance, given the enthusiastic applause from the audience. What an elaborate Halloween act, he thought. Elektra and Aldo are truly convincing. Taken aback by the unfolding events, Jack felt a sudden warmth and instinctively downed a hefty sip of his drink. Yet, detecting a flavor disturbingly reminiscent of blood, he quickly spat out what remained. The individual beside him queried, "Everything okay, pal?" Turning to respond, Jack recoiled slightly, noticing a set of sharp fangs in the man's grin. Scanning the attendees, he saw that they were all relishing their drinks with unabated enthusiasm. A chilling realization hit Jack. This wasn't merely a Halloween festivity. It might be a rendezvous for actual vampires or some clandestine cult. Jack surmised that his presence had gone unnoticed primarily because his Dracula costume fortuitously fit the theme. Glancing toward the stage, he witnessed two guards discreetly moving Aldo's limp form behind the curtains. Anxiety surged. What if Elektra recognized him? He knew he needed to make a swift exit. Spotting a sign marked, "Exit," with a red arrow, he hurried in that direction alongside a few others also departing. As he navigated his way out, thoughts of Blake consumed him. It was likely that Elektra had brought Blake to this very place, subjecting him to the same fate as Aldo. Jack deduced that the real reason men didn't make it past probation at Walmart was far more sinister than he had imagined. Elektra, with her undeniable allure, seemed to intentionally draw male employees to this clandestine club, turning them into the evening's prime spectacle. "I'm fortunate she didn't single me out tonight," Jack mused. Breathing in the fresh air outside, he felt a rush of relief at being back in the familiar world, safe and sound. A mere 20 feet away, near a street corner, he spotted a police car. Resolute, he decided to approach the officers to relay his chilling experience. Could there still be a chance to rescue Aldo? Were Blake and Aldo perhaps still alive? To avoid drawing attention, Jack took a roundabout route to approach the police car from the rear, evading the gaze of those leaving the club. Thankfully, an officer was in the car with his window rolled down. Jack gestured, and the officer inquired, "How can I assist you?" In hushed tones, Jack recounted the unnerving events he had witnessed. The officer's expression remained unchanged, betraying no surprise. He confided in Jack that they had been monitoring the club due to suspicions about its activities. Jack's account, he explained, was the missing piece they needed to secure official permission for a raid. The officer then invited Jack into the car and they headed to the station to formally record his statement. The police department was just a few blocks away. Upon arriving, they descended several levels via an elevator. Throughout the journey, the officer expressed his gratitude to Jack for coming forward with such crucial evidence. He made a call to brief an on-site detective about their findings, mentioning to Jack that the lead detective was awaiting their arrival. As they navigated the department's corridor, they arrived at a door labeled, "Detective." After the officer knocked, a voice from inside invited them in. Upon entering, Jack observed a female detective pouring herself a drink, her back turned to them. As she pivoted to face him, Jack's heart skipped a beat. It was Elektra. "Hello, Jack," she greeted smoothly. Jack's instinct was to flee, but a sudden blow to the back of his head brought him to the ground. As darkness began to envelop him, he overheard the officer's voice. "This is the second time in 3 months someone's eluded you at the club. It's fortunate I was conveniently parked behind the club today. But Elektra, you must exercise more caution. Our superiors aren't swayed by your looks when the entire community is jeopardized. Your recklessness, driven by your impulsive desires, is a liability. Consider this your final warning. After all, you wouldn't want us searching for a new Walmart manager, would you?"
I really want to know where this Walmart is, to make sure I never submit my job application there. I hope it's not the one by my house. Tomorrow will be my next video and you will find out that